Good morning, Wooliecottage here. Joe, hi. Sorry I'm a little bit late with doing these videos this week. It's been one of those weeks I've just not found a second to myself. So last week I spoke about the breed of Ouessant and the breeder that I received the fleece from. And I did I finished off the video with washing the fleeces, so it's turned out amazing. It never felted one bit. I mean, look how fine that is. It absolutely washed up a treat. I literally just washed it with hand hot water with nothing in it in the first, just to warm up the any staining that was in there from the lanolins and things like that and the dirt. And then once I rinsed that off, once I emptied that water, I put in the same hot again and left that for another 20 minutes, but with some e-cover liquid in there. And I really didn't need to do it one more time, but I rinsed off the last of that detergent that was in with the fibres in, again, hand hot hot water, and then left that to go to literally room temperature, and then I put it straight in the dye pot. But honestly, it has come up an absolute treat. It was I'm lucky, it was a very clean, not very greasy fleece. Sometimes, as you know, if you've washed fleeces before, they can be really greasy and you do need to do the detergent section quite a few times. But I find that if I do the pre-soak in just water first and leave that until it really starts to cool down, and before it gets too cold, add in the next batch of hot water, as long as I can put my hand in there and just give it a quick thingy, then that should be more than adequate. And then do the 2 e-covers and then do a rinse wash again. It's perfectly fine. I never have any problems. And I have my my long Teeswater locks and my Wensleydale locks that that I create from a website. They can be really, really dirty and quite greasy, and that's generally all I have to do, and then it goes straight in the dye pots. So yeah, I'm really quite happy about it. Now, it's not dirty in the sense of there was no nargles on there. There was no feces or anything at all. It was a really clean fleece. The only thing that I've found, especially with this one, which I've actually dyed now, there's lots of grass in it. So there's a lot of grass in there and some large grass pieces like straw. That's not a problem because I'm going to card them anyway, and I'm going to, hopefully the carding will get rid of a lot of those, and I can pick out these larger sections as I'm going along when I'm separating them to card it through, and then I'll run it through the carder a couple of times, which you're going to see me doing. But it did really dye up a treat. It's not felted. So I did some in yellow, so you can see where the vegetable matter is, and that's all it is. It's just flakes of grass. So when I'm spinning that up, I know they're going to fall straight out anyway, and I'll get rid of a lot of it, as I say, in the process of carding it. But it's not felted anywhere. Look at that, it just pulls right out. It really comes up, it takes the dye really quickly as soon as it goes in there. And I'm really, really chuffed to bits with this fibre, this Ouessant fibre. It's really, really nice. And against my skin, definitely still has that soft consistency. I washed it afterwards. Once I dyed it, I use a supermarket brand Wool and Delicates wash, liquid wash, and it's only about £1.60, and that's what I use for all of my fibres, so it helps put a little bit of softness back in there from going through the process. But I did some in this lovely yellow. So what I was thinking of doing is doing some colour packs, so carding up, say 50 grams or even 25 grams, depends. I mean, if you want to leave a comment below what you think would be ideal. And I thought, well, what we'll do is card it in its natural state like this, and then card it with some plant-based fibres in between, or some sari silk and oil. So you've got loads of different colours in there, so you get it with a bit of a tweedy effect. So I thought, well, I'll do that for all the ones I've got, and then just do a colour packs. But if there's any colours that you're interested in, let me know. I'll be selling them as 100 grams, so they're a bit affordable. So I did some lovely forest green, straight from the wash, from the sink, straight into the dye pot. And I'm just so happy with it. I really, truly am. So I've got a green there. I've got this brown, which has come out. It's the brown dye is actually broken, so that's fine. So you've got hints of green in there as well. And then I've got this, the blue, a nice seaside blue, and I've got some lovely sari silk and oil that is like a duckling sort of colour, so like a tealy blue. So again, you've got these grassy bits in there. So what I was going to do with this video is just do my carding method so you can see what it looks like before and after, and then do the actual blending of the fibres in there as well. And as I say, I've got brown, yellow, green and blue at the moment. I might do packs where it's blue and yellow together, but maybe not. I think single packs, and that means that if you want to buy them felting with, then you've got fibres already in there mixed in, as well as a plain carded. And I will be doing the same with the natural as well. I've got some natural drying out on the clothes horse at the moment. It's been out there since yesterday. It's still not quite dry yet, but we've had some really weird weather. It's been warm, but it drops really quickly in the afternoon temperature wise. So that'll be carded up, and I'll do again 50 grams 100 grams of that fibre, 50 being blended with some plant-based fibres or some silk or rose or whatever I've got to hand, and I'll do it like that, and then the other one will just be natural on its own. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And then what I'll do is I'll do a little spinning video. Maybe actually I might add that to the end of this and just see what it looks like spun up. And then yeah, so enjoy. I hope you enjoy this video. I will be doing another one this week. We're on Thursday now, so I will try and get another video up tomorrow. Not quite sure, I might just do a blending video. But if there's anything you want me to do, just give me a shout and I will get it sorted out and put it on my channel. So thank you very much for watching. Please hit those thumbs up at the end. I really do appreciate it, and it helps people actually find me on YouTube on the YouTube platform. Thanks. Take care. Bye. So you may ask why. I mean, I've just carded that one 3 times, and if I was to move my drum carding out, and I would say I've probably got about 98% of the grass fibres out of there, and that is all the dirt and dust. Okay, so that is all the grass remnants. So that's when you're carding it, it's popping everywhere, so it looks like dandruff. But that is as clean as I'm going to get that until I spin it up, and then I'll be able to get out the remnants of the last bits that are in there. So you may have noticed, I don't know if you noticed, I will show you now, but when I'm carding, or especially when I'm double carding fibres like these, let me just put this back together again. I have a technique that I use. I mean, I don't know if anybody else does, but it's just something that I do. How come your thing never wants to go on when you want it? So I don't use hand carders. Not many of you know I've got fibromyalgia, so I can only do certain actions for a certain length of time before my muscles start to make me aware of them, shall we say. So I've got little hands. I have got really tiny square hands, and I do find using hand carders really awkward to use, especially the large ones. I used to have a set, but I ended up selling them because I just couldn't use them. Do you know, what's supposed to be an easy job always turns into a flaming issue. Right, so bear with me a second and I'll just explain what I do. So I've obviously drum carded the first lot, and what I'm trying to do is make my fibres align, in other words, go in the same direction. Because obviously when you're pulling the clumps out, I mean, alright, that's probably not the best example, but they are sort of twisting over each other, even though they're going in the same direction. And you may get knotty bits that all clump up together. So really what I'm trying to do is make my fibres go in the same direction, and that's the whole point of carding, and it's to make your job easier when it comes to spinning. Otherwise you end up with lumps and bumps, and it's not a smooth journey. Unless that's a technique that you want to do, you want a fibre that's going to be textured, then it's not the be all and end all. At the end of the day, it's homespun wool. If you want to make it perfect, then that's up to you. If you're just starting out and it's your first time, you can still get a good wool, and you'll end up like a tweedy style wool because you've got these little woolly neps in there. It's not a massive issue. You're not going to get at home the most perfect neppy free fibre, even with an electric carder. So you can see here I've still got little clumps. I mean, if you don't want them, take them out. It's not a big deal. Okay, at the end of the day, you're learning, you're doing something that you think to get an end product, and really that's what you're going to do. So like, still got the 1 or 2 little fibres in there, but if I was spinning that up, I'd just stop doing what I'm doing, pick it out, knock it off with my nail, it's gone. Some people like to use an apron when they're dealing with wool like this that they've processed themselves, and that'll collect all the little dust and grass sections. It's not filthy. This has been washed, it's been dyed, it's been out in the line, and you've just seen me card it 3 times. So when I'm carding it, you see me pull off sections, and then I've gone through the my carder and carded it again. So what you end up with, in fact, is these layers. See where I've gone in and I've stripped the pieces down, and they're all sitting on top of each other, and you can just about identify the separate sections that I've put in there. So what I do when I'm double carding, or sometimes in this case triple carding, I will tear off a strip. Okay, so there's your side, there's your top bottom, okay, and I will just stretch it out. Now what I'm wanting to achieve is, obviously there's still some fibres of grass in there, okay, so still a little bit in there, okay, no problem. This is what we have to deal with. So I'll just stretch it out on the side that's facing me, so the top or bottom section, and then what I'll do is I will turn it around. Now you can see just about make out the layers, and I turn that on that side, and what I want to do is, for the fibres, instead of them being compacted and keep doing it the same, so instead of feeding it through continuously top and bottom and creating more layers and sandwiching together, not an issue. What I want to do is turn it back on itself and open up the layers a little bit, so that any loose grass or vegetable matters that are in the fibres stuck in between the layers have a chance to pop out. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that not only A, my fibres are all going in the same direction, but also B, that my any vegetable matter that's in there, like my little flakes of grass and like the tiniest little bits, you could sit there with a pair of tweezers for 3 days and still not get them all out. But I'm actually opening up the fibres, letting the air get in there, the motion of the drum carder to allow the fibres to drop out. So that's what I'm doing that for. So if you just, well, you can see what I'm doing here. So I literally put it in there. I've got a long length of it. And all of those, as I'm turning my carder, they're popping up. It's like popcorn. And occasionally, I'll just give it a quick blow for any bits that are sitting loosely on top of my fibres. And then I'll do the exact same thing again. So I'll literally tear it down. So you've got your bottom, your back, 6.5 dozen. So your top and bottom layers. And I'll pull that section off again. And as I am here now in my hand, I will just pull that gently and draft it out. So the fibres don't clump up and you end up with a thinner section of wool that you want to card. Because if you kept it that thickness, I'll end up clumping and it'll jam up my carder. So now I've turned it on its side. I'm going to open up those fibres a little bit, all the way down, place it on my carder again, and then continue, and just they'll come to the bit at the end here where it's starting to clump up a little bit again, and I will just flatten that out, spread it a little bit, and I'll just keep repeating, and I will card this other section another 2 more times. Well, actually, I've done it once, this is twice, and 1 more time after this. So I'm going to draft it out as it's facing me, and then I'm going to twist it on its side where I can see the layers in those sections. You can see those lighter and darker sections there. They're the build-up layers, they're the layers that I've put on and I've carded through. So I'm just twisting it on its side to open up those fibres, let them go straight, but also for the vegetable matter to pop out. And then just get going. Now, not everybody's got a carder at home. I totally understand. The other way you can do it, if you can't use the big hand carders that cost anywhere between 30 something and maybe £50 for hand carders, you can use the little dog paddles, something like that, and use small ones, and make yourself little like little rolls of fibre. And you can do the exact same method with these and just do a handful at a time. So when you're watching TV, you can get these from any pound shop, literally for £1 or even £2.50 or something like that, and then you've got yourself a little pair of hand carders. I got mine from Ring and Wool, so they cost a little bit more than £1.50, and if I'd have known that at the time, I wouldn't have spent nearly 10 quid on just one. So yeah, there's other alternatives out there to doing this method, and you can do it the same. And then if you're doing that, you just hide it back and forth. There's plenty of videos on YouTube where you can do that if you haven't got a guild nearby that can help you. Unfortunately, I don't. I can either go 2 hours north up to Scotland for a guild, or I can go 2 hours south down to Lancashire for a guild, and there's not really anything here in my county for me. So I'm all self-taught anyway. So what I'm telling you or talking to you about is what I've learnt myself. have it. That I have carded 4 times. The last 2 times I ended up adding in some gorgeous mint tencel fibres that I'd dyed, and some gorgeous emerald green sari silk noil. So that's really turned out quite pretty. I'll just take that out. So I'm still getting the odd little bit of flake, but there's, in comparison to what that fibre looked like beforehand, it's practically cleaned completely. I would say probably about 99%. Which is perfect. And you can felt with this as well, this fibre. I might have a little video and a little play. I'll just pull out the threads, that's all. I might have a little video play with some felting at some point with this fibre once I've got it all carded up. And then that's what it looks like on its own. So it's actually a little bit darker. It's quite bright light today, a little bit darker than what you're seeing here, but it's like a forest moss green. And I'm really quite pleased to bits with how it's come out. There's still the other little bits, but I'm not bothered about that. At the end of the day, I know this is, I can easily just pinch that out whenever I'm using it. If you're using it for felting, this carded fibre is absolutely brilliant, because you can just pull off the strips that you need and use what you want. And it's perfect for landscape felting and for needle felting as well. But spinning, I'm definitely going to do a little video of spinning. I will show you the end results of the yellow, the brown and the blue once I've got them done. It'll take me the afternoon to do it, and I don't think you want to sit there and watch me doing carding all morning. Okay, so I'll do a little spin up thingy. I might even sit and spin and do that on my chat on Saturday on my Instagram account if you want to come and follow me. I usually film about lunchtime, but I do post that back onto my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to see me doing that then. Now next week, not next week, I have got a Kerry Hill fleece that I've just received, and I also have Icelandic fleece. Now my next video that I want to do, it'll be either one of those. So if you want to put in the comments below what you think, and we'll go for a vote and see what fibre I should do next, which I'm planning to do the end of July going into August. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. If you subscribe to my website, check your inboxes for your discount code. There's 20% off all stock in there for this month, valid up until the 23rd of July. I'm playing with the idea of releasing my Christmas Advents in the next week or so, and that give you a little bit more time. I do either you can pay it all in one go, or I do a non-refundable deposit for the first payment. That just covers me for the paying for buying my fibres and my stock and the extra gifts and everything else that I make and buy in, just to make it extra special for you. And then I do a 3-month payment plan after that. So if you were to order for July, then you deposit September, October, or August, September, October would be your payment plan. So it'd be all ready, and I have that shipped out and dispatched by the middle of November, so you have that in plenty of time. And if you want to open it up, you open it up. So yeah, so if you'd like me to release my Christmas Advents a month earlier than I usually do, comment below, drop me a message. If you want any of these Ouessant fibres dyed in a specific colourway in a certain amount, just drop me a message via my website or on my Facebook page, or even on my Instagram. You can drop me a DM there. You can catch me all times. This is my only job, so I'm here all the time. I'm here to answer questions, and I will be doing these as, say, 100 gram pack sets, thinking about £12.50 for 100 grams of this fibre, and £11 for the natural is what I'm going on those for 100 grams of each. You can see the amount of work that goes into it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of my brief study for this time. So I've literally gone from raw fibre to washing to dyeing and then carding, and then next you might see me spinning on Saturday this fibre up as well, but you will do. So take care of yourselves, hit that thumbs up and behave. Bye.